Hello, I'm PS3 and welcome back to the video. I don't know about all of you, but my most frustrating moments in Minecraft PvP are when I get into a fight with someone, I start losing, so I run away, and then I realise that no matter how, well I try to run, I'm always going to be caught by them eventually. They're always going to catch up and slowly hit me once by once. I'm going to die slowly and painfully with someone chasing me, and that's just really frustrating to me. And over the past few years, I've actually developed a few tips to kind of make this a bit better, and I figured for everyone else out there that's equally as frustrated as me, I would get, kind of share these tips with you, so that if you get frustrated by dying because someone's chasing you, then maybe you can do something about it. So hopefully you do all enjoy this video, giving you 5 escape mechanisms for Minecraft PvP. If you do all enjoy it, like me and let me know, because it helps out the channel and lets know you do like, these sorts of things. But with that said, let's get straight into it, shall we? And let's start by talking about, I guess, the first one here, the easiest one, the one you can probably do, even if you're in a game which doesn't really let you place blocks or build things or do anything like that, because it is the parkour slash, any form of like jump mechanisms. Because the thing about, if you're playing any form of PvP map, assuming it's not a flat land, and if it is, well, you're going to die regardless, but if it's any form of like, mountainy, lead, varied terrain, that means what you can actually do is you can use parkour or something else to your advantage. Because the reason that when you get chased, you always die is because basically you're running at the exact same speed, 4 point whatever meters a second. If you're running the exact same speed, then they can eventually take more efficient routes than you, they'll run into you, and then they'll eventually catch you. However, the goal of using parkour is to make sure that they won't catch you, because they have to spend longer doing something than you. So if you kind of like, I guess, make your mind move 1,000 miles a second, or try to just move like faster than you can even think about, just like do the stuff instinctively. If you can do this parkour as fast as that, whereas the other person is like, okay, I'm gonna follow this person through here, and now I have to jump to there and there to there. If they're having to like stop and think each time, where are they actually going? Then if they just take even a second longer to do a jump like this than you, then that's long enough to be a second away from them, and you do a few more seconds like that. Eventually they will just give up because they're too far away. So yeah, use parkour to your advantage, because most of the time you can just kind of instinctively speed through parkour without thinking about it. Most of the time someone's chasing you, they do have to think, and that's a tip I've at least used to save me quite a bit. And even if you can't find any parkour or any jumps like this, because again, not every map has something in this particular vein, and some maps have awful ones, like if it curves around itself, it's a bad idea, like here, that's a bad parkour. But for instance, if you don't have any for that, but you can place blocks, so you're playing just a regular survival, what you might want to do is you might want to just place random blocks on the ground as you're running. So place a block, jump over it, do that. Again, if they can't think fast enough, they're going to be like kind of held up as they're like, oh, we're running this way, and then, oh, we get stopped. And yeah, any momentary stops you can apply to them. All you need to do is get them further and further away from you, far enough away that they just give up on you and say, I'll kill someone else, it'll be easier, and that's how you've won the thing. So the second tip to just make people give up on you, or even to turn it into a win when you're down massively in a fight and you're not going to win by just conventional sword fight, what you might want to do is use some TNT. So this is really useful in battle, and in the battle mini game I've used it to save myself so much. It's a bit harder to do in any other game mode, because you both need TNT and fire charges, which again, if you don't get them naturally, it's going to be tricky. But if you can get TNT and you can get some way to detonate it, redstone torches, literally anything to detonate TNT, you can use this as a game winner against someone who's like not entirely sure what they're doing, or at the very least you can get away. It's either going to be a game win or a way to get away, because the thing about TNT is if you can place it down in front of yourself and light it real fast, so like this for instance, just place it, light it, then what you can do is you can turn around. Either they're going to stop, they're going to stand behind it because they don't want to be blown up by TNT, no one wants to be blown up by TNT, fun fact. They're even going to do that, or they're going to try and chase you into it. And if they do that, so let's give the exact same situation, if they try and do that, you can knock them back into it, and as long as you can knock them well enough, like one well-placed sprint hit, even if you take a lot of damage, if you can just knock them into the TNT, you will kill them TNT, you take all their stuff, and suddenly you've turned a losing situation into an amazing way to ambush people. So yeah, TNT is amazing because you can basically use it to, scare people away, or at the very least actually kill people, because that's what they're scared of. They're scared of being killed, so you scare them, you kill them. Either one works pretty well and will allow you to escape from a fight. So yeah, that's the second mechanism here. And just in case you are in a game where you have to craft everything yourself, so my example would be like Sky Wars, or maybe you're just playing regular or survival, you can't craft TNT because you have to kill creepers, and that's a lot of effort, plus the fire charges or the flint steel. So what do you do instead of using these two items together? Well, what I recommend is crafting iron doors, since iron is usually found relatively easy, and iron doors use 6 iron for 3 of them, and I'd say they're a better defense than leggings to some extent, because bear in mind, if you have iron doors, you can actually use these in the middle of like a running away to just really mess people up. Because if you run into an iron door, here's an example, if I just run into this wall of sun, I'm like, oh, what's this, and how do I break this? Oh, I've got to break under it, so I break this block here, and then I have to break the next block. That's going to be really tricky. At the very least, even if you place it in the open, someone's going to have to be like, wait, oh, the door's there, let's run around that, and it's going to give you at least a second. But if you can place it in a really good situation, so you're running away and suddenly you go for a small little alleyway like this, then suddenly you place it and boom, they have to like go through a full iron door, or again, go around it. And in this situation, having the doors all over the place can be a really good little thing. Also, if you go inside like some enclosed area or a cave or something, even if it's got like a relatively wide entrance, like 3 wide, you can do some really cool stuff. So let's just take, let's try and find a random cave around here. Not that that's going to be easy because this is a flat map, but let's just, let's just create our own little cave, I guess. Let's just say that this entrance right here is the entrance to a cave. It's 3 wide, as you can see. Even if you just turn around real fast, you place 3 of those, that's, that's enough iron doors to make someone be like, well, we have to now break the floor, we have to do loads of tricky stuff, and that's long enough for you to be well out of there. And again, as long as you have long enough to make them just not know where you are, or to give up on you, you're doing pretty well. So the other situation I see it being useful in is if you're playing Skywars and you've got the islands, if someone's chasing you down one of the, like, the island pathways, the thing where you just block out, place blocks on the side for thing, if you place one of these iron doors just in time, imagine what that's going to do. You place that, and then you jump, and then suddenly they're like, oh, we can't actually jump, so we have to build around it. Again, they're going to take them a lot of time, and because you're on an island, they're not. They have to be really cautious of you, or they just have to kind of give up, because the iron door is a really powerful thing, and the only things that can actually, get past an iron door are breaking the block below it, which isn't always viable when it's placed on the edge of a block like that. It's, using a button, and who crafts buttons just in case? I mean, maybe if the door meta gets big, but realistically, no one's going to have buttons or levers, which means they have to break the block underneath it or go around, and in a lot of situations, that's not viable. And again, the iron doors, I think they can save a life a lot more than we'll give them credit for. I'm looking for an opportunity to, like, really get the best of these, and yeah, I'll let you know, like, more about how many lives I can save myself with this. I think it's one of those amazing ideas that just hasn't really caught on yet, and maybe it should. So yeah, if you want to be a revolutionary, the iron door is a great way to save yourself. If you don't want to be a revolutionary because, you think that's just not too useful for you, then maybe the water bucket might be a great little save for yourself. So the water bucket is, it's by far the most useful item in Minecraft for so many reasons. I've done a whole video on like, oh yeah, it can do this, it can do that, it can do this, it can do that, but there's so many life-saving mechanisms for it too. So the first one is disarming TNT. So this is kind of like a counter to the earlier technique. So I've shown this off in a video before, but basically, if TNT's on, lit like that, then the way you can guarantee you don't take damage or it doesn't hurt anything is you place water. It's disarming TNT, which is really, really strong, as you might be able to imagine, but as well as just disarming TNT, as well as just being able to, allowing you to climb objects like this, so you climb up the object, if they try and chase you, then, oh, guess what, you take the water down. So as well as being able to get away from people like that, you can also use it as a clever way to escape and make someone jump to their death. So let's say we're all the way up here and we're running away from someone and they're chasing us up the tree, then we just have to jump off and then place it at just the right moment when we hit the ground like that, remove it and hope they, they're a few seconds behind, or even if you can do it fast enough, just left trigger, so, it's there for literally a split second. So, here's a good example, just left trigger, like that. There's no way for them to jump into it. They're going to take full damage, and if you're really high up, they'll die. If you're not really high up, but you're, decently high up, then they're going to take most of the full damage, and you can kill them that way. So, yeah, I honestly haven't been able to use this one too much, but since I love water buckets so much, I figured it had to be a mention, right? It's just the best one, in my opinion. So, yeah, what is the final way to escape people if you don't have items, you don't have a parkour map to do, you don't have any of this sort of stuff, you're in battle, you don't have TNT, for instance, what can you actually do? Well, my favourite mechanism, and this doesn't work so well for me because people are really set on killing me personally, it seems, sometimes, because obviously the YouTuber thing, they might spot that, but if you are just, like, you look like just someone who doesn't have any armour, anything worth killing, then a really good pro tip I'd recommend, and I'll show you some clips of it, is where basically, you're being chased by someone, and you lead them into someone else. If you can, if you're being chased by someone, it's a really bad situation, you're about to die, if you can lead them into someone else and not be hurt by that other person, they'll usually start a fight between themselves. Again, this is a tricky thing to orchestrate, but you basically need to get these two people to fight to the death, and then you can kill the winner of that fight, and you can turn a negative situation into a positive. And plus, you get 2 people's worth of stuff instead of 1. It's tricky to put off, but it is one of those really cool things when you can do it. And since, the alternative is running around until you eventually get killed, I think this is the best solution in the game. If you don't have more food than the opponent, and you're not perfect at parkour, and you don't have either a TNC, a water bucket, or iron doors, I have to recommend chasing into people because I think that's useful. Anyway, I hope this video did help you out in some way. Like I said, I figure I like addressing the frustrations and the stuff in Minecraft and kind of helping you out with the stuff that kind of bugs me. And one of the things that has always bugged me is being chased. But I'd love to hear what your biggest problems with, like Minecraft PvP is. Do you hate how, oh, you have to craft and do this? Or, what is your least favorite thing about Minecraft PvP? Because, again, I'm always down to help out. That's why I like doing these videos in general, as well as just inspiration stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like the video if you did like it, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos just like this one every single day on my channel, and if subscribed, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you all very much for watching, and goodbye.